Imagine this: a city so deep underground, so vast, and so well protected that it could survive a nuclear war. It sounds like something straight out of a science fiction movie, a post apocalyptic blockbuster. But what if I told you this place isn't just a fantasy? In 2023, scientists confirmed something that sent shockwaves through the worlds of history and engineering. This place is real, and it already exists. This incredible underground megacity is located in the historical region of Cappadocia, in modern-day Turkey. For centuries, people knew about parts of it, a place called Derinkuyu. They thought it was a fascinating, but relatively small, series of caves and tunnels. A local curiosity, but they were wrong. So wrong. In 2023, extensive new surveys and discoveries completely rewrote the story. New sections were found, previously hidden and unexplored. And just like that, the known size of this subterranean world doubled. They found new tunnels spiraling even deeper into the earth. They uncovered countless new rooms, new air shafts reaching for the surface like ancient snorkels and entirely new water systems. What everyone thought was a simple underground shelter turned out to be the tip of a colossal iceberg. It wasn't a shelter, it was a full-blown underground civilization. So, just how big are we talking? Prepare to have your mind blown. This city plunges more than 85 meters straight down into the earth. To put that in perspective, that's deeper than a 25-story skyscraper is tall. It's not just a deep hole either. It's a complex, multi-layered society. Archaeologists have identified at least 8 distinct floors, but they suspect there are more still hidden. Within these floors, there are thousands of rooms. And these aren't just empty caves. They found stables for livestock, chapels for worship, and even schools for children. They found communal kitchens with ancient ovens, still blackened by soot, and huge storage rooms designed to hold enough food to last for months, maybe even years. They even discovered evidence of underground rivers, diverted to provide a constant source of fresh water. At its peak, historians estimate that more than 20,000 people could have lived here. 20,000 people, plus their animals, with enough food and water to be completely self-sufficient without ever needing to set foot on the surface. Now let's talk about the feature that left modern engineers absolutely speechless: the ventilation system. You might think a city 85 meters underground with 20,000 people would be stuffy, suffocating even. But it's not. The air inside is remarkably fresh, even today. How is that possible? The city is equipped with more than 50 main ventilation shafts. These are not simple holes in the ground. They are masterpieces of engineering. Some of them run vertically for more than 50 meters, connecting the deepest levels directly to the surface. They are strategically placed to create a natural, continuous airflow throughout the entire complex. Think of it like a natural air conditioning system. No machines, no electricity, no modern technology. Just a perfect, profound understanding of physics and airflow, executed flawlessly thousands of years ago. It is a miracle of ancient engineering that we would struggle to replicate even with our modern tools. But this place wasn't just a home. It was a fortress. It was designed from the ground up for one purpose: survival. The city was hidden, but its creators knew that hiding wasn't always enough. So, they fortified it. At every entrance, and at the junction of every level, they carved massive, circular stone doors out of the rock itself. Some of these doors weigh more than 500 kilograms, half a ton. They roll into place like giant millstones, fitting perfectly into the doorways. And here's the genius part: they could only be opened from the inside. There was a small hole in the center of the door, just big enough to fit a wooden beam to push it open. From the outside, it was an impenetrable slab of rock. If an enemy army ever breached the surface entrance, the city's defenders could seal the entire complex, level by level, in a matter of minutes. The people inside, deep below the earth, would be completely untouchable. So why would anyone go to such extreme lengths? Why build a sprawling, subterranean world? The answer lies in the violent history of the land above. Cappadocia has always been a crossroads of empires, a land fought over time and time again. For centuries, its people faced constant invasion. The Romans came, then the Persians, then Arab armies, and later the Mongols. Wave after wave of conflict and conquest swept across the plains. This underground city wasn't built as a choice, it was built out of necessity. It wasn't just a city, it was a survival machine, a last refuge for a people determined to endure no matter what horrors unfolded on the surface. It was their ark, carved not from wood, but from the very bedrock of the earth. This is where the story takes a turn into the truly unbelievable. Modern scientists, fascinated by its design, analyzed the structure of Derinkuyu. They looked at its extreme depth, the layers of solid rock separating it from the surface. They studied the brilliant, self-contained air circulation system and the isolated, protected water sources. They examined the way the city could be sealed into isolated compartments. They even noted how the sheer mass of rock overhead would act as a natural shield. Their conclusion was startling. With only minor modern modifications, like air filters on the ventilation shafts, this ancient city could potentially protect its inhabitants from the fallout of a nuclear attack. The layers of stone would absorb radiation. The sealed environment would keep out contaminated air. The ancient architects, without ever knowing what a nuclear bomb was, had accidentally designed the perfect fallout shelter. And here's perhaps the most chilling part of all. We still haven't found all of it. Archaeologists are convinced that what has been excavated is only a fraction of the whole. There are still sealed tunnels leading off into the darkness. There are passages that have been deliberately blocked with rubble. There are chambers that echo with mystery, their entrances collapsed centuries ago. The full extent of this underground world remains unknown. This city is still hiding its secrets, waiting in the silent darkness beneath our feet. So the next time you hear someone say that ancient people were primitive, or that our modern world is the pinnacle of all creation, remember the city of Derinkuyu. Remember the people who, armed with little more than simple tools and an unyielding will to survive, carved an entire world out of stone. A world so perfectly engineered, so profoundly resilient, that it could survive the end of the world as we know it. Thanks for watching, and if you want to explore more incredible mysteries from our past, make sure to follow and subscribe.